I see this upgrade as something I can sell to just about any customer. Because you've got the customers that say, well, I don't need to upgrade this year. You know, I do it every 3 years. You know, it's working just fine. And you hear that a lot. And this year, if you're using invoicing, there's something for everyone. I mean, there's things that'll increase your, your receptiveness to your customers. So I see this as an upgrade for everyone.
Personally, for me, I have two companies, and I use Peachtree in both of my companies to track my receivables and my payments and everything that has to do with operating my business. So being able to have both companies open at the same time is going to be a benefit for me, as well as all of my clients that run multiple companies. So I think that that's a fabulous enhancement for 2010.
Do you have a lot of customers that run multiple businesses?
I do. I have a lot of attorneys that have registered agent companies as well as their own law firm. And so being able to run both those companies will really help them be able to manage things quickly.
I have a lot of customers that will utilize that function. I've got one company in particular, they own several, I think 11 tow companies, and so they're always switching in and out of screens. So that, yeah, and obviously CPAs will use that feature a lot as well. But yeah, we have a lot of people with more than one company.
Absolutely, multiple companies open. It's, there's so many people, accountants and businesses that have multiple companies now, and being able to swap back and forth without log out, log in is definitely the best feature.
Yeah, I think the open multiple companies is a big deal for accountants.
Yeah.
We in our office, we have people that are absolutely looking forward to that feature, because we have clients who call. We're working on doing entries. We have clients that call and want a real quick question answered. We can open up the company and they get right back to the previous company to continue entries. We have clients that come in and sit down and they run multiple companies, and they want to know cash balances in each of the companies, and they seem to want to know it almost simultaneously as they're transferring funds from one company to another. So that's going to be a great feature. It's going to speed up processing for us and for their companies.
I really like the automatic backup because you can't have enough.
Best thing about 2010, automatic backups. Can't have enough backups.
Customer management, to be able to find out where they paid an invoice, that's going to be exciting. I can see this as an upgrade for just about anyone.
Multiple contacts is awesome. For those clients that have multiple people that they need to contact about a given project or a given job or a given case or whatever, being able to keep those people and just click that tab to be able to see their addresses and their phone numbers and how they're related to that firm is just incredibly. It's just an incredible enhancement for 2010.
Several things. I like the customer management center. I think a lot of people will use that during, order entry. They can keep the order entry screen on one side. Some people even have two monitors. They could have that list on the right-hand side. It helps them when they have custom pricing for customers when they call up. How much did I pay last time? They can look it up quickly.
Yeah, I have quite a few companies that with sales that they need to be able to keep track of the contacts. Especially now that email is becoming real important, that to be able to track all the contacts, all the emails, different phone numbers, extensions, that type of thing.
It's called customer management, but it's really customer service.
The customer management center is great. You can set it up the way you want and then change from customer to customer and get the stuff you want about the customer when they call on the phone. You got it all right there.
Yes, we save quotes, and we can find out if they're converted or not.
One of the strongest things about customer management is being able to see what they bought for you in detail, and you can customize the fields to know when and where and how much they bought, what they paid. So that particular module is excellent. There's 18, I think, total modules for the customer management module, and so at one time you can see the invoices, the quotes, the sales orders, the receipts for just one person instead of having to search and pick and choose and find and look. So it's strong. It's very strong.
Well, I thought it was excellent that they could be notified automatically with an email that when somebody's update for review using the action items. There's always been a lack of space in employee maintenance, and that extra space will come in handy. We write a lot of crystal reports, so I'll be able to utilize those fields as well.
the inventory item history, I think, is going to be huge for anyone that uses inventory. Getting at that information of where you bought this item last, or last time you bought it, who bought it. I'm really excited about that.
Being able to set your default from stock to services is just really, really good. It really is. I work with a lot of professional services companies that use Peachtree, and being able to set that inventory as a service is something that takes away from about 3 steps of work that they have to do to set up every inventory item.
Item sales history is something that we actually custom wrote a software for a client in Miami probably about 4 years ago. Because we didn't have it, we finally said, all right, we're going to customize it. We've been working on that, and now this product actually does probably 90% of what we wrote. So it's going to be really great. I know the customer's going to be excited because we're going to get them onto Peachtree and have everything integrated. So it's definitely one of the best features.
Being able to let the customer use Peachtree for them instead of being forced to use Peachtree the way Peachtree is designed is a huge enhancement.
Yeah, that's neat stuff. Just somebody says, you can look at the whole thing all at one time. So if you're curious about this transaction, an invoice, and seeing whether it's paid or not, with a click you can get there, or the quote that built it, or the sales order, or it's all tied together in a list. So yeah, I think that's very strong. That's very, very useful.
And in the Quantum, I love the notifications. Notifications, I think, for collections will be fabulous. The workflow process, I think that's going to be huge.
The dashboard is something that's being seen in a lot of software right now, and Peachtree being able to do that and have your own work area and your own workflow set up so that you can see what you want to see. For me, I would want to see receivables and what's outstanding as far as quotes and proposals and things like that. For other firms, they want to see maybe what's outstanding in terms of unbilled items, and just depending on your role in the company, being able to set that up specifically to each person is something that I have asked for and received for the last couple versions, so that's great.
I think the process workflow, or the workflow in the Quantum version, is going to be very handy for a lot of customers, especially in manufacturing. That will make it easier for customers to find out what's the status of my order, where are you in production, because they'll be able to track that sort of thing using that functionality.
Other feature that I would point out would be the workflow. I have a company that builds radios for railroad tunnels and for mines, and they do some manufacturing and distribution. They have several offices. The workflow is going to be great for them.
One particular customer of mine, they manufacture foam products for like airplane seats, anything you can use foam for, they manufacture it. So there's a workflow that they have to follow on every single thing they build, and I'm sure that they'll customize that to track what needs to be done next and notify the next person in line.
I have a company who does sign production, and I wrote them a crystal report that does very much the same thing, because up to now we didn't have that thing. And they're upper small to lower mid-market company who puts the sales order into production and passes it through, and I had some extremely creative ways of putting in the date and who and when it went from this stage to that stage. We created our own. We did a workflow process manually by using notes in the sales order notes. So this unfortunately took away my crystal report, but but it works very, very well, very similar.
One thing I want to say, and I was talking earlier, is that I just really think it's admirable how much Peachtree and Sage now is going out and interviewing the customers and using the referral groups and using the blogs and really taking to heart what the customers need, and they're putting it in the program. And that's I think the biggest thing to me was seeing. You guys aren't just putting a feature in. You're saying, we went and interviewed this customer. We have, we saw this need. We've heard this from multiple customers. You have percentages of clients that will use the features. So really have done your homework with the clients, and I think that makes a huge difference.
I see this as an upgrade for just about anyone.